Well, good morning and thank you for joining us. What a celebration we have today as MamaJo is in Foster Park. We're really excited to have that. Arlene, come on out. You know, I'm sure that she's tired, and probably she should be. She's been pounding through bedrock for a little over 2 years, in some cases working 3 straight shifts without a break, and mining 14 million tons of rock. That's 28 billion pounds, for those of you who count that way. While likely she's tired, I'm sure today that she is smiling, and she's proud that she was able to accomplish the job that all of Fort Wayne was hoping that she would do, to dig the tunnel. You know, the tunnel is part of our significant plan in our 18-year plan for improvement to reduce sewer overflows, basement backups, neighborhood street flooding, and especially overflows into our rivers. It will keep 1 billion gallons out of our rivers when it's completed. We still have a ways to go, but certainly Mayor Tom Henry has been supporting us from day one. I can remember him joining us in 2009 at Southside High School to do a greeting when we had a neighborhood meeting to plan all of these events that were going to be going on during the 18 years of the long-term control plan, and he certainly was behind it then. A difficult time, if you think about it, for anyone to be behind it, because we were just coming out of a really big global economic crisis in 2008. So we certainly appreciate the mayor's support, and he joins us now with a little bit more.
Thank you, Frank. Good morning. What a great day to finally see this tunnel completed. 5 miles. And most of us never knew MamaJo was underneath us, going through the center of town and along the river. I just noticed that Frank kept referring to MamaJo as a she, and I think all the females here would agree that in most cases, females do work much harder than men. My wife told me to make sure I said that. But seriously, it is a great day. You know, the concentrated effort, the vibrancy that we put in to try to make sure that this was all it could be for our city is exemplary. All of you that served on task forces, on the commissions and on the committees, had anything at all to do with this, should be extremely proud. I was talking yesterday about this very project with some other mayors, and they could not believe that Fort Wayne, the size that we are, would take on a project this big. If you talk to some of our city utilities personnel, you'll realize that we are actually a very small city to attempt something of this magnitude. Most of the other cities, right now, for instance, Indianapolis is going through this project. Cincinnati just finished. Cleveland is looking at it. These cities are much larger than us. Yet not only did we attempt it, but we completed it in record time. So all of you that were involved in any way, shape, or form need to be extremely proud. And our city as a whole. This was not a cheap effort. And when Kumar Menon and the rest of the city utilities staff came before you and said, this can not only help make our rivers clean, but it's really a tremendous statement from Fort Wayne to other communities that Fort Wayne is going to accept its responsibility when it comes to environmental matters. And it's going to be, unfortunately, pretty expensive. None of you stood up and said, don't do it. Don't worry about the price. We need to do the right thing. And that's exactly what we're doing. So I want to thank all of you for that. Frank, thank you for all of the work that you put into this project as well. Now, before you leave today, make sure you get a T-shirt. They're free. I don't know if you have my size or not. With these pecs and guns, I'm going to need an extra large. So just make sure you pull one back. Thank you. With that, again, thank you all so much. It's another great day in the city of Fort Wayne. Thank you.
All right, there's also rocks back there too that came out of the tunnel, so feel free to grab one of those as well as a souvenir. You know, the grinding journey needs a strong team, and certainly Lance Waddell, the construction team of Lane Construction, has worldwide experience. They have been leading this effort and working closely with other partners, including Jacobs Engineering and certainly the city of Fort Wayne and a number of subcontractors. I have Lance Waddell going to be joining us now to say a little bit about the project.
You guys will have to bear with me. Frank didn't spring it on me until last night that I had a speaking role today. So I've got a few notes, but on behalf of Lane Construction and our parent company and joint venture partner WeBuild, we want to thank everybody for being here today to help us celebrate this milestone. From the time the project began in May of 2017 to the launch of MamaJo in April of 2019, and then being here today, being within 50 feet of tying into this shaft, it's a very significant milestone and quite an achievement for us. When you consider that we're essentially digging a hole that's 19 feet diameter, over 200 feet deep for 4.5 miles, you think about the scope and the complexities of a project like that. That type of work can be difficult and obviously brings a unique set of challenges, but we've been able to come to it together as a team and get to where we are today. In fact, our staff and crews and subcontractors have over 1.2 million man hours invested in this project so far. That's a lot of dedication and hard work and time. And we still have a lot of work to do. This is just completing one phase. We still have to disassemble MamaJo and do the smaller tunnels that branch off that connect into the bottom of the drop shafts that are at the bottom of the neighborhoods scattered throughout town. So still a lot of work to do, and with those new tasks obviously come new challenges. But we want to thank the owners team, the city of Fort Wayne, Mayor Henry, city utilities department, all of their staff, Jacobs, Black and Veatch. There's a lot of groups that are involved to make this project like this happen. And being able to sit down with those guys and come up with solutions that are actually better, they're best for everybody to help make things happen has really been a critical part of the project. I also want to thank our staff and our crews, the laborers union, operating engineers. They've helped us put together the teams to actually build this work. And without those guys, obviously, none of this could have been possible. But to be a part of this type of project that has such a huge positive impact on the community and the environment itself has really been an honor, and we look forward to finishing strong. So, thank you.
Thank you, Lance. And you know, he mentioned all those number of working hours that they had. That also translates into salaries, which I know our council members, I see Councilman Paddock and Councilman Didier here, and certainly Mayor Henry, they keep track of that because they know those dollars are spent in our community. So that's always a good thing. You know, it's been an 18-year plan that we've been dealing with the long-term control plan. And MamaJo, the dig was 2 years. There's still some more work to be done. And that's why it is a long-term control plan. Certainly 18 years is a long time, but we're only 4 years away from completing that in 2025. Matthew Wirtz is going to fill us in now. He's our Deputy Director of City Utilities Engineering, and he's going to share more about what is still to come.
Thanks, Frank. Just thanks for everybody for coming. As a City Utilities Engineering, City Utilities, we are excited to be here to talk about this project. And we always want to start with thanks again, Mayor, City Council, the Utility Advisory Group, the leadership and support that we've got on this long-term control plan, as well as the tunnel, has been awesome. Understanding the importance of what we're doing, and yet also what we have yet to do. I also want to thank the neighborhoods. We've been for years out in neighborhoods doing work, meeting with people. A lot of our projects are, you know, just admittedly, they're an inconvenience or disruptive to the neighborhoods we're in. We always want to leave them better, and we believe this project for our community is going to leave our community better. So we appreciate all the support and patience as we've been working through it. It's been decades that we've been working on this. We spent several years, 10 years, negotiating and developing this plan, working with the Utility Advisory Group and working with the EPA and local regulatory agencies. And now we've been implementing it for over 14 years. And as Frank mentioned, we've got years to go yet, but we're getting close. The tunnel was the largest part of that investment plan. It's the foundation of our reduction of overflows into our local rivers. The tunnel impacts from State Street to Hessen-Cassel to Paulding to the south, Ardmore. That's the area this tunnel serves, the combined sewer area. And it's going to make better sewer capacity for those areas. And then obviously everybody benefits from cleaner rivers in our community. We've got 4 years to go, as Frank mentioned. We have some larger projects, not near as large as the tunnel, but we have the deep dewatering pump station, we have consolidation sewer, more traditional sewer work, and then we need to head south yet through Foster Park in the coming years to complete all of our overflow connections. Again, we're excited to celebrate this. I do want to thank the contractor, thank our engineering team, everybody, you hard hats and yellow vests around here. They've done a lot of work, and I just want to make sure they know how much I appreciate them and we appreciate them. So, thanks.
Matthew mentioned our utility advisory group, and certainly this has been an active group. These are leaders from throughout the community. They've been working with us on these issues since the mid-1990s, and some of them have actually served on that committee since the 1990s. The current chair of the committee is Rod Vargo. I have Dan Wire here, John Van Narden, Elizabeth Garr is standing here, Beulah Metzik. So we have we have a good representation today, and Rod is going to share just a few things about how the group has worked with us.
I'd like to relate how cost-effective, cost-conscious this whole process has been. The city started early on in the 90s, well before costs went up, well before most other communities. They've moved along, they've made use of volunteers beyond any other community I know of. That's why I've been so involved for so long. We've constantly upgraded best practices. Originally, we were not going to go with a deep tunnel, but as the technology improved, the costs came down, the reliability improved. So that's where we're at. At the same time, we also put a lot of money into maintaining the old structures we have. Just about 150 feet north of here, 90 years ago, there was a celebration, a gathering much like this, for a nearly 11-foot tunnel, 3 miles long, underneath Rudisill Boulevard. We're going to be tying that into the MamaJo system. For those of you who want perhaps some good pictures, you might go and look at the 11-foot by 11-foot vent for that 10-foot line that goes into the rivers, or did go into the rivers. We're largely retiring that. That is just an example of the many things that were tied in. There's another very significant structure north of the bridge here that would also make some really good pictures. This all combines to really improve the health, the mental well-being, the economic opportunities, and the community development throughout Fort Wayne and certainly in this area. Thank you.
I would like the utility advisory group people to put their hand up just so everybody knows. I forgot to mention Pat and Brian and Pon, but we have a good handle here, and Cody also. And a number of neighborhood presidents from along our route. This tunnel actually goes through or connects to 14 tunnels directly, but it serves, as Matthew said, a much wider area. I know as Matthew was talking about the construction that you put up with, I saw a lot of smiles out there as you're remembering when Broadway was closed down by Taylor for a while as we were doing a consolidation sewer. When Rudisill and Broadway were closed, obviously all that's part of this. So it's been a long process. I appreciate everyone for attending. Remember, there are free t-shirts and rocks from the tunnel that were pulled from 220 feet down, mined by MamaJo, and anybody will be available for interviews afterwards. Thank you.